If you've been using a compounded version of Ozempic, Mounjaro, or Zepbound, you need to hear this. The FDA just made those versions illegal. And if you're still using them, you could be exposing yourself to real health risks without even realizing it. Hi, I'm Benjamin Morton, and this is Total Gut Wellness. Today I want to break down a major FDA decision that's already affecting millions of people who rely on these medications for weight loss or blood sugar control. This update isn't just about regulations, it's about your safety and what you need to know moving forward. As of May 15, 2025, the FDA has officially ordered all compounding pharmacies to stop making tirzepatide, the active ingredient, in medications like Mounjaro and Zepbound, and just a few weeks earlier, on April 22, the agency also banned state-licensed pharmacies and physicians from compounding semaglutide, the main ingredient in Ozempic. So what does that actually mean for patients? It means that compounded versions of these drugs, which were temporarily allowed during the national shortage, are now considered illegal to produce. Why? Because the FDA has confirmed that the supply of both tirzepatide and semaglutide is no longer a problem. Back when there was an official shortage, the FDA temporarily allowed pharmacies to compound these medications, but only under strict guidelines. This made it possible for many patients to access more affordable options while supplies were limited. But in late December 2024, the FDA announced that the shortage was officially over. And when that happened, they set clear deadlines for pharmacies and compounders to stop production. Now that those deadlines have passed, any continued compounding is no longer allowed, and it's officially a violation of federal law. In simple terms, any pharmacy still making these drugs today is breaking the law. But the issue goes deeper than just new regulations. The FDA isn't just ending compounded tirzepatide and semaglutide because the shortage is over. They're also sounding the alarm on serious safety concerns surrounding these compounded versions. There have been multiple reports of problems, including incorrect dosing, where patients either receive too much or too little of the active ingredient, use of unapproved or low-quality ingredients, often sourced from unregulated suppliers, and adverse reactions like nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, and in some cases, dangerous imbalances. Some of these compounded medications used salt forms of semaglutide like semaglutide sodium or semaglutide acetate. They may sound similar to what's found in Ozempic, but chemically, they're different. And these forms have never been approved by the FDA for use in humans. So even if the label looks right, what's inside the vial may not behave the same way in your body. And without proper testing, there's no way to guarantee they're safe or even effective. That's why the FDA is stepping in, and they're not alone. Eli Lilly, the pharmaceutical company that created Mounjaro and Zepbound, has already launched legal action against businesses selling unauthorized versions of tirzepatide. Their concerns go beyond protecting patents. They're focused on protecting patient safety. Because when it comes to powerful medications that alter your metabolism, the wrong dose or the wrong ingredient can lead to very real harm. So, what can you do if you've been using a compounded version of these medications? First and foremost, have an open conversation with your healthcare provider. They understand your medical history, your current condition, and your goals, and they can help you make the safest transition moving forward. In most cases, the best option is to consider FDA-approved medications like Mounjaro or Zepbound. Yes, they may be more expensive, and yes, not everyone has full insurance coverage. But these medications have been through years of clinical trials, are held to the highest manufacturing standards, and are continuously monitored for safety and effectiveness. That level of oversight simply doesn't exist in compounded versions, especially now that the legal status has changed. And here's the most important part. Avoid unregulated sources at all costs, especially online vendors claiming to sell compounded or generic tirzepatide or semaglutide. These products are not only illegal to produce or sell, they could also contain the wrong dosage, contaminated ingredients, or substances that haven't been tested in humans. In some cases, they may not even contain the real active compound at all. Remember, your health isn't something you want to gamble with, especially when it comes to medications that impact your metabolism, blood sugar, liver, and gut function. If you've been using one of these compounded treatments, now is the time to make a responsible, well-informed decision, guided by a professional who has your best interest in mind. Here at Total Gut Wellness, our mission is simple: to give you clear, trustworthy, and evidence-based guidance, especially when it comes to your metabolism, your digestion, and your long-term health. We believe in natural approaches whenever possible, but we also believe in clarity over confusion and in making decisions based on what's truly safe and effective. So if you're dealing with type 2 diabetes, struggling with obesity, or managing insulin resistance, know this: you're not alone, and we're here to help you explore real strategies that work with or without medication. In fact, in our next video, we'll be diving into natural ways to reset your gut, reduce inflammation, and get your cravings under control, especially if you've recently stopped using compounded medications like tirzepatide or semaglutide. But before you go, I want to hear from you. Have you ever used a compounded version of Ozempic or Mounjaro? Were you aware that these versions are now banned by the FDA? And most importantly, how are you feeling about all of this? Let me know in the comments below. Your experience could help someone else going through the same thing. And if you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel and sharing it with someone you care about. You never know who might need this information right now. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.